One guy who continues to play well defensively, Grant Delpit. I know you've addressed this on Untitled, Unfiltered Browns coverage. What do you think about Grant Delpit? What have you seen from him?
Oh, Grant's been great, man. Grant's looked like 2018 Grant Delpit. And the funny thing is, right, everybody did not stop talking long-term in 2019 about his inability to be in the box. He's such a terrible box safety and all this stuff. He is a great box safety. He's actually a mediocre, free safety. He's okay at free safety. He's getting better every week. But where he's special is when he can play. He was playing some Will linebacker and some Sam, even some some snaps last week. It was incredible to watch. He's the Browns' best run defender. Other than Myles Garrett, because Myles Garrett is the best defensive player on the team, he is the Browns' best run defender. It's not just been this week. If you go back from about halfway through the season after the bye week or even a couple weeks before the bye week, every time you see a play get stopped and it's a run, it's usually Grant Delpit. More often than not, it's usually Grant Delpit, 22, making the play. And the interceptions, they're going to get him attention because that's what people expect out of safeties. But the thing he does not get enough love on, and I think he deserves more love, is his run defensive ability. He is. If you get him a defensive line that can hold their own, and then you have Grant Delpit playing in that role, it sounds crazy given that we're historically bad right now at stopping the run. But those two adjustments, you could be one of the better run defense teams in the NFL because it's rare to have a safety like that.
Do you think he can be the free safety, the center fielder that they've kind of lacked as well? Is he developing into that maybe?
Think more or less how the Chargers used to use Derwin James more than free safety, right? I think the free safety position is going to be a little bit more of a security position, right? You could put somebody like DeAnthony Bell back there, and his job is basically to make sure you don't get beat over top. But free safety, and again, this is all dependent on who's the defensive coordinator, right? But I would expect a defensive coordinator to look at this tape and say, hey, I'm going to use Grant at linebacker sometimes. I'm going to use Grant at strong safety sometimes. I might even plug Grant in at free safety, right? But when you keep him closer to the line of scrimmage is where he's special. So you're going to see Grant doing a lot of things you would expect a nickel DB to do. He's going to be blitzing a lot next year more than likely. He's going to be going downhill, taking care of some play action stuff because he's really good instinctually with that stuff, screens. So he's not going to be a traditional free safety. That's not his game. But he's going to be used kind of like how we wished Jabril Peppers was used, right? That's the ideal way. He is what we thought Jabril Peppers could be, as that free safety, that tackler, that big guy who can sometimes get up in there with tight ends, but you don't want him to be in coverage all the time, that kind of utility player. I think that's what Grant's future is. And when you see him used this way, strictly because we just don't have any linebackers left on the roster, you're starting to see the best of him, and he had his best game recently. So, yeah, I would expect Grant to be used in that way, and I would expect Grant to want to be used in that way because those guys get paid, Dave. They get paid. Okay?